And today, we are continuing with the categories of the law. I'm trying to make sure our teleconference call room is up. Is our teleconference call room up? Mic check, check.
Amen.
All right.
Amen.
All right.
Amen.
Amen. All right. That being said, we continuing on from last week with the laws that went beyond the cross, even though this is the third segment of our categories of the law series. But we're doing part 2 of Beyond the Cross, because last week we dealt with how the commandments of God go beyond the cross, the dietary law went beyond the cross. But this week we're going to continue on, and we're going to deal with the circumcision law, we're going to deal with the feast law, and tithes. Now tithes, when I get to that, the tithe, everybody know tithes are still in order, y'all. And we're going to deal with that law, okay? And if we can, we're going to get to the law of faith, y'all. So let's start out, because see, here's the thing. You got many Christians that think Jesus in the law. But I'm here to let you know that in Psalms 119:34, it said the law is the truth. In 142 of Psalms, that says 119th chapter, verse 34 tells us, understanding will cause us to keep the law. Psalms 119:142 tells us the law is the truth. Proverbs 4:2 tell us, he said, I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law. In Isaiah 8:16, the Lord said, bind up the testimony and seal the law amongst my disciples. So when you hear people talking about a law has been done away with, it ain't none of these laws that we're talking about, because all of this stuff goes beyond the cross. Even Jesus came to make the law honorable, according to Isaiah 42:20. And Paul told us in Romans 3:31, do we make void the law through faith? He said, God forbid we establish the law. So with that being said, let me bring in how we ought to speak first. Isaiah 8:20. We're going to read Isaiah 8:20. Because it tells us how we ought to speak. And this is the law of ministering the word of God. If you're going to speak it, you have to speak it this way. Isaiah 8:20. Isaiah 8:20. Again, happy high Sabbath to those of you that are observing the word of God. Today being the 15th day of the month, Abib. We on the day side now, y'all. We're on the day side. Okay? Isaiah 8 and verse 20. Read.
To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them.
See, when we speak, we must speak to the law. So if you got ministers running around, we ain't got to worry about no law. They not giving you the light. We must speak to the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, it's because there is no light in them. Now let's go to Romans 2:13. Romans 2:13. And then we're going to get into our categories, y'all. But I need to do this introduction so that you can flush out all that other mess you done heard from ministers talking about, brother, you ain't got to keep the law. It's abolished. They ain't got no light in them. Nor are they the disciples of the Lord. Nor do they have the truth in them. Nor do they have understanding. Nor are they honorable. Nor are they established in the law. When that's what the New Testament says. We are to establish the law. And the reason why people get confused because no one is breaking down the categories of the law. They're only looking at one law, the animal sacrificial law. They want to throw it over everything else. But right here, Romans 2:13. Romans 2:13. Read.
For not the hearers of the law are just before God.
See, he said, not the hearers of the law are just before God. Go ahead.
But the doers of the law shall be justified.
Because you got flesh running around. Brother, you say you justified by the law, you fall from grace. And you can read that, but that's talking about the animal sacrificial law, because Jesus came and died for us and took away the animal sacrifice. That's why there's no meat on the table on the Passover. So if you're going by the animal sacrificial law, you have truly fallen from grace. And you're not justified by that law. But this law we're talking about right here is the truth, it's good doctrine, it's understanding, it's being a disciple of the Lord. It is honorable when you do the law. That's why he said, not the hearers of the law are just before God, but the doers of the law shall be justified. Read that to one of those anti-law believers. Read that to them. Ask them what that means. Okay? Then they're gonna say, so we got to qualify what laws we talking about, y'all. That Christ is the end of to all those that believe. So now let's go to Romans 9 chapter. Romans 9 and 4. Because there are laws that went beyond the cross, and the teachers of God, his institution, are to administer these laws accordingly. Romans 9 chapter and verse 4. Because you hear them saying real quick, Christ abolished the law at the cross. Okay, well let's read this, y'all. Romans 9 and 4. Read.
Who are Israelites,
Uh-huh.
to whom pertain the adoption,
Yes, sir.
and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law,
Uh-huh.
and the service of God, and the promises.
Then you turn around and ask him, wait a minute, how you going to give a law that God had his son abolished at the cross? How you going to do that? And this is after Jesus' death and resurrection, that you are to have, that Israel is to be the givers of the law and the service of God. Because if you ain't giving the law and you call yourself having the service of God, no, you're not. Because you're in a lawless service to what God? Think about it. The promises also, go ahead.
Who are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Christ came, who is over all. God bless forever. Amen.
Now let's go to Hebrews 10 chapter, y'all, verse 15, and look at the Holy Ghost. Because you got people swept down, they got the Holy Ghost, but they lawless. Well, let's see what the law, what the book say about the Holy Ghost. What the Holy Ghost gonna do for you? Okay, Hebrews 10 and verse 15. Hebrews 10 and verse 15. Read.
Whereof the Holy Ghost also is a witness to us. For after that he has said before.
Now look, the Holy Ghost is a witness to us. Let's see what the Holy Ghost say. Go ahead.
This is the covenant that I will make with them after those days.
What days? The old covenant days. Go ahead.
Said the Lord, I will put my laws into their hearts, and in their minds will I write them.
Oh, wait a minute. So if you got the Holy Ghost, it's supposed to be writing the laws in your heart. Not you talking about they abolished. And we looking at the laws that he put in our hearts and in our mouths. How has he put them in there? He said, I will put my laws in their hearts, and in their minds will I what? Write them. That's why you go to the book to look at what's written and put it in your heart.
Amen.
That's exactly what he's saying. So we're looking at the categories of the laws that went beyond the animal sacrifices, which stopped at the cross, which went beyond wearing fringes, which is ended by the Holy Ghost being given. Okay? And the judgment law. We're going to look at that in the next series, though. Because there's, in our last segment, we're going to deal with what laws apply personally, and civil laws, and sanitary laws. We're going to look at that in the next segment. Nevertheless, those that have the laws written in their heart and in their minds, he said, I will put my laws. That's plural, y'all. And we're going to look at it. That includes the circumcision. That includes the feast law. That includes the dietary law. That includes the royal commandment law. The royal law, the dietary law. These are the laws he's writing in our hearts. And these are the laws that have gone beyond the cross. So now, finish that. Next verse.
And their sins and iniquities will I remember no more.
Oh, because they got his laws in their hearts. Because they look at what they written in this book. Keep going.
Now where remission of these is, there is no more offering for sin.
Oh, that's what got took away and abolished at the cross. The offerings for sin. Not for the feast days, not the ceremonies for the feast days. We're going to look at that. Therefore, go ahead.
Having therefore, brethren, boldness to enter into the holy is by the blood of Jesus.
Yes, sir. It used to be by the blood of the animals. We dealt with that, with what law was abolished at the cross, or what law was nailed at the cross that was against us. Because it could never take away sins. That's why it was against us. Nevertheless, go ahead.
By a new and living way, which he has consecrated for us.
Yes, sir.
Through the veil, that is to say, his flesh.
And
having an high priest over the house of God. Let us draw near with a true heart and full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience, and our bodies washed with pure water.
Yes, sir. Because all of that, he's going to tell us to do something. Go ahead.
Let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that promise.
No, he said, let us therefore hold fast to the profession of our faith, y'all, without wavering. I'm not sitting up here talking like I don't know what I'm talking about. Because I'm not wavering on what went beyond the cross. So let's get right to it, y'all. Let's go and look at the first law we're going to look at today. It's the circumcision. Now, the circumcision, I got a lesson about that. There's 6 aspects to this. And I'm only speaking to the physical aspect of this. And we're going to deal with the little controversy that Acts 15 chapter puts on the table. But there's a reason why Acts 15 chapter was said in regards to the Gentiles. So let's go look at this law in the beginning where it was established at. Genesis 17 and 5. Because when Peter and them made a decree, it was a temporary pass for the babes that had just come into Christ. They got to grow in this thing. We're going to read that. But we're going to look at the foundation of this thing and see if anyone was excluded. And we're going to look at this went way beyond the cross. This is good all the way to when Jesus comes back. And we're going to see what he said concerning allowing others not to be circumcised. Let's see how the Lord, we're going to read all of that, y'all. So hold on to your hats. Make sure you got your pencil and paper because we're going in on this one. Because this is one of those little controversial ones, y'all. And it looked hard in Paul's writing, like he said you ain't got to be. But there's a reason for all of this, y'all. But we're going to look at the root, we're going to look at the beginning, and then we're going to look at the end of the matter. Okay? So Romans 17 and verse 5. Read.
Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham. For a father of many nations have I made thee.
Now look, the Lord changed his names on people, y'all. He changed even Abraham's name, Abram to Abraham. That's what happened to some of the brothers. Most of us are coming into the word. We had our slave master's name, and we'll pick up our heritage name. Like I have Jacob, okay? That wasn't what I was born with, but once I got knowledge of that I come out of the seed of Israel, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the Lord put that on my mind a long time ago. So, right here, Abram got changed to Abraham. For he shall be a father of many nations have I made thee. Go ahead.
And I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee.
Now notice, he said, I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. Go ahead.
And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee, and their generations, for an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee, and to thy seed after thee.
Now wait a minute, there's a key word in here we need to pay very, very, very close attention to. He said, I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee in their generations for a temporary covenant. Is that what that said? It said for everlasting. Do you know what everlasting is? God is everlasting, which means there is no what? End to him. That's why the Father inhabited eternity. Jesus came out of eternity and come down in the flesh to become the Son of God, being the Son of the one that inhabited and stayed in eternity, y'all. So everlasting means without what? End. Hello, have we come to the end yet?
No.
So everlasting right here go way past Jesus' death and resurrection, y'all. Hello, people. Let's keep reading.
And I will give unto thee and to thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God.
So this covenant dictates that having being it everlasting, that his seed will inhabit the land of Canaan for a what? Everlasting possession. That means without end. He didn't promise going to heaven forever. He promised the land is going to be inhabited for an everlasting possession, and I will be, notice he said, their God. Notice, God ain't speaking to singular here, as if he's speaking back to Abraham. He said, I will be their God. So everyone that take hold of this covenant to get in the land for an everlasting possession, he's speaking to you. Amen. Think about it. What we reading, y'all, this is past Jesus' death and resurrection. So when we go look at the circumcision in the new covenant, when you go there, you got to qualify what you're looking at and what aspect of circumcision Paul is addressing. That's why I got a lesson on about the 6 aspects of the circumcision and the uncircumcision. Nevertheless, verse 9, read.
And God said unto Abraham, thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore, thou and thy seed after thee in their generation.
So the seed of Abraham said, keep this covenant. He said, thou and thy seed. Everyone that claimed to be a seed of Abraham is supposed to keep this covenant. It is everlasting. Go ahead.
This is my covenant which ye shall keep between me and you and thy seed after thee.
No, he keeps saying, and thy seed after. I want to emphasize this because you got people running around, oh, brother, I ain't got to worry about that Mosaic law because I'm a seed of Abraham. Well, let's see what the seed of Abraham got to do. Go ahead.
Every man child among you shall be circumcised.
Yes, sir. Every man child among you shall be what? Circumcised. And this is an everlasting covenant. It's almost like you think somebody with everlasting love. That means it's without what? End. So we know this went beyond the cross. Go ahead.
And you shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it should be a token of the covenant betwixt me and you.
Now notice it's specific. See, that's why there's 6 aspects to this thing. Because there's a spiritual aspect, there's a lineage of people, there's a conduct in being circumcised and uncircumcised, and there's strictly people that's outside of this covenant that God didn't give to. Being, he only gave to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to pass down to their generation to teach all nations. Started at Israel, y'all. That's our job. Hence, he said, ye shall circumcise the foreskin, the flesh of your foreskin. This is every male child, y'all, man child. And it shall be a token between the covenant between me and you. Go ahead.
And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you. Every man child in your generations, he that is born in the house or bought with money of any stranger, which is not of thy seed. He that is born in thy house and he that is bought with thy money must needs be circumcised.
What do must needs be? That got to be done. Or else, go ahead.
And my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant.
Oh, so in our flesh for an everlasting covenant. So if you went in the ground without the sign, seal of the everlasting covenant in your flesh, it's a scary thing, y'all. So you die. Because he said up and said, it shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. So you want to die like this. So when the Gentile come in, he may not understand it, but he got to go to understanding this covenant. So should he die at any time, he died with the token of this in his flesh for an everlasting covenant. So when God pulled him up, boom, I see my covenant. You went in with my everlasting covenant. Therefore, I'm going to give you the land for an everlasting possession. That's what's so important about this covenant, going beyond the cross. Go ahead.
And the uncircumcised man and child, whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people. He hath broken my covenant. And the
Lord gonna do the cutting off in the 8th day. In the 8th day. He got to circumcise mankind in the 8th day. That's why he said, amen. 6 days of labor, the 7 days of Sabbath of rest, but the 8th day is the day of the circumcision. All those that don't have this, he cut them off. He just stated that. And an uncircumcised man-child whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people. He has broken my covenant. You don't want to die like that. You do not want to die like that. Now let's go to Genesis 26 and 5. Genesis 26 and verse 5. Because he circumcised his household, y'all. We're going to go back and look at that. And let's see what God called it right here. Genesis 26 and verse 5. Read it. Oh, I'm sorry, verse 4, my bad.
And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and will give unto thy seed all these countries. And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed.
Now, he was talking to Isaac when he said that. Watch why he blessed even his son that was circumcised. He said, I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and will give unto thy seed all these countries. And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. Why? Go ahead.
Because that Abraham obeyed my voice and
Yes,
kept
sir.
my charge,
Yes, sir.
my commandments,
Yes, sir.
my statutes,
Yes,
and my law.
And my law. Look at all that embodied Abraham. Look at that. He obeyed my voice. He kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. Now let's go with Jesus hit Israel dead straight up in the grill with this thing. St. John 8 and 37. St. John 8 and 37. Because this certain covenant of the circumcision is an everlasting covenant, y'all. And I'm dealing only speaking in the physical aspect. There are 5 other aspects to this. Understand clearly what the Lord said. Him that is uncircumcised, let him not become circumcised. That's talking about the Gentile or the heathen. He's going to turn around and try to make himself physically if he can't do that. You either born in Israel or you're not. It's simple as that. St. John 8 and 37. But like I said, we are addressing the physical aspect that's gone beyond the cross. That's an everlasting covenant. That in itself tell you right there, that's way past the cross. 8 and 37. Now look what Jesus told Israel right here, these Pharisees in particular, at verse 37. Remember, Abraham obeyed the Lord's voice, kept his charge, his commandments, his laws, and his statutes. And look what Jesus told these Pharisees right here, who are Israel. Go ahead.
I know that ye are Abraham's seed.
See, he said, I know you are Abraham's seed. Go ahead.
But ye seek to kill me, because my word have no place in you.
Wow. Nevertheless, Israel, this Pharisee with the fringes on, probably had long beards and all of that. He said, but you seek to kill me because my word has no place in you. Go ahead.
I speak that which I have seen with my father.
Uh-oh, wait a minute now. He went spiritual on him. Now, he said, I speak that which I have seen with my father. And go ahead.
And ye do that which ye have seen with your father.
So they actually standing there uncircumcised before the Lord. They really are. Nevertheless, go ahead.
They answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father.
See, that's Israel. You're always running to the flesh. Well, Abraham is our father. We be Israel. That's what we be boasting all the time, y'all. We Israel this, we Israel that. But dude, what did you hear? Is you standing there and you not, like Jesus told them, look, I speak that which I see with my father, and you do that which you have seen with your father. So Jesus hit them spiritually here, but he said unto them, go ahead.
Jesus saith unto them, if ye were Abraham's children, ye will do the works of Abraham.
Oh, wait a minute. He said, if you were the children of Abraham, you will do the what? The works of Abraham. Which was to obey the Lord's voice and to keep his charge. And let's skip all the way down to verse 56. Read.
Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw and was glad.
Wait a minute, how did Abraham saw his day? Because in the Lord's laws is a Sabbath day. He is the Lord of the Sabbath. That's why he said, your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it and was glad. We read he kept his laws, right? And his commandments, and his statutes and his law, and he was glad. But watch this. Verse 57.
Then said the Jews unto him, thou art not yet 50 years old, and hast thou seen Abraham?
See, they straight up physical. Oh man, you ain't even 50 years old. How you seen Abraham? Because they straight thinking carnal. And that's Israel's biggest problem, the lack of faith. And Abraham was the father of what? Faith. We're going to read that. as we get into the law of faith. Nevertheless, watch this. Verse 58.
Jesus said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am.
Oh, so he was the I am that made the covenant with Abraham. That was an everlasting covenant with the circumcision? Yes, sir. That's how we know. You got to qualify what Paul is talking about and which circumcision he's addressing. That's why I got a lesson called the 6 aspects thereof. That physical one, oh, that's etched in stone, partner. Because that's everlasting. Okay? But he told right here, look, verily, verily, I said to you, before Abraham was, I am. When Moses talked to I am, what did he say? I'm the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The great I am. Yes, Jesus is that. But watch how physical Israel reacted. Go ahead.
Then took they up stones to cast at him.
And then cast stones at you today. Oh, well, how you saying Jesus is God? You got the Christians saying that, and you got the Hebrew brother got a problem with Jesus. Both sides of the house, they got a problem with the great I am that manifested in the flesh, that gave the covenant of the everlasting covenant of the circumcision, y'all. Got a problem with that. So let's go back, let's go to Galatians 3 and 26. I want to bring this straight across the book because it goes right past the cross. Okay? Ain't that what everlasting do, y'all? That go way past the cross.
Yep. Forever.
Your mama tell you, I got everlasting love for you. You know what that means. And then what if she died and you woke her up again? She's still loving you. That means she got everlasting love without you. If you could wake your mama up, she's still loving you. Anyway, dang. Okay, so Galatians 3 and 26. Because you got lawless Christians running right here, anti-circumcision Christians, running to get all of Paul's writings that talk about another aspect of circumcision and just throw it all over the place and disregard the everlasting covenant. So we're reading right here, Galatians 3, and we're going to start at verse 26. Galatians 3 and verse 26. Read.
For ye are the children of God by faith in Christ Jesus. For as many of you as have been baptized in Christ have put on Christ.
So now if you put on Christ, you put on the great I am. Remember, Jesus said before Abraham was what? I am. And then Israel turned around and stoned the Lord, okay? Nevertheless, we are all children of God by what? Faith in Christ Jesus. For as many as you have been baptized into Jesus, that's how you baptize into the name of Jesus, have put on Christ. Go ahead.
There is neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither bond nor free. There is neither male nor female. For ye are all one in Christ Jesus.
So he's looking at your mindset. He's straight up looking at your mind. In our minds, spiritually speaking, there's neither Jew nor Greek. There's neither bond nor free. There's neither male nor female. For you're all one in Christ. He's looking at the heart. So these are to all be of one heart, one mind, one faith, one baptism. He's looking at that heart, y'all. Whether you male or female, Jew or Greek, he's looking at the inside. And watch this, verse 29.
And if ye be Christ, then are ye Abraham's seed, and heirs according to the promise.
So if you are Abraham's seed, you're talking about possessing the land for an everlasting possession. And before you get that, you're talking about being circumcised. If you are the seed of Abraham, you would do the what? The works of Abraham. Let's go see what Abraham did. Genesis 17 and 26. This is the physical side. Way beyond the cross, y'all. Way past the cross. We're going to show you how far down this thing go, y'all. By going to Genesis 17 and verse 26. Let's see Abraham. What does Abraham do? After the Lord talked to him, brought this covenant to his mind and his heart. Now let's see. Well, I want to let's look at 23 and walk it down. Genesis 23, talk 17 and 23. Go ahead.
And Abraham took Ishmael his son, and all that were born in his house, and all that were bought with his money. Every male among the men of Abraham's house.
For every male amongst the men in Abraham's house. So this is what Abraham did with his household. Okay? If you were to seed of Abraham, go ahead.
And circumcised the flesh of their foreskin in the self same day as God has said unto him.
Oh, so everyone that's in the house of Abraham is what? Physically, all the males are circumcised. Straight up. Go ahead.
And Abraham was 90 years old and 9 when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin.
So you're never too old, y'all. Never too old. Man, you 99 years old and you get ready to get male. I'm talking to the men. I don't know if it's conspiracies. And you get ready to get stiffened on your genitals. He was 99 years old. So you're never too old to get this. Never. Go ahead.
And Ishmael, his son, was 30 years old when he was circumcised. 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin.
So you may have missed the 8 days old, my brother. You know, your kids ain't circumcised. Hey, as long as they get it. Because he circumcised Ishmael when Ishmael was what? 13 years old. The statute is 8 days old. Nevertheless, because of the bad doctrine that's flourishing in what they call Christendom, hey, the Lord is giving us mercy here, showing you, hey, he did Ishmael when he was 13 years old. And when he circumcised the flesh of his foreskin, go ahead.
And the same day was Abraham circumcised and Ishmael his son. And all the men of his house.
Oh, wait a minute. Some of the men. What did it say?
And all the men.
So we in the house of Abraham, all the males are what? Circumcised. Because it said, and all the men of his house, go ahead.
Born in the house.
That was born in the house.
And bought with money.
Oh, like we bought by the blood of Christ. Because if you have put on Christ, you'll be purchased by his blood. Therefore, you are the seed of Abraham, and you come under that borrowed money of the stranger. Go ahead.
Were circumcised with him.
So that's every male. Let's go beyond the cross, y'all. And my proof is right here. Let's go to Ezekiel 43. When God is back on this earth. This is yet to be fulfilled yet. 43, Ezekiel 43 and 1. The Lord, when he come back, the earth will shine with his glory. That's why there's going to be a new heaven and a new earth, y'all. When the Lord come back. Ezekiel 43 and verse 1. Watch this. That's how you got people talking about, man, that Old Testament, that's done. We're not living in the Old Testament days. We ain't got to this yet, y'all. We have yet to live to the day Ezekiel 43 and 1 has been fulfilled. This ain't happened yet, y'all. So what days are we living in? The days of the Holy Scriptures.
Amen.
That's what we living in. He thought, back in the Bible days. I'm like, wow. Great tribulation ain't hit yet, y'all. We're still in the Bible days. So right here, Ezekiel 43 and verse 1. Read.
Afterward, he brought me to the gate, even the gate that looketh toward the east. And behold, the glory of the God of Israel came from the way of the east. And his voice was like a noise of many waters. And the earth shone with his glory.
Wow, and the earth shined with his glory. That's how we know the presence of the Lord is here. Hello? And this ain't happened yet. Let's skip down to verse 7. See where he's going to be dwelling at. Read.
And he said unto me, Son of man, the place of my throne and the place of the soles of my feet, where I will dwell in the midst of the children of Israel forever.
Wait a minute. It should say I'm going to dwell in the midst of the Christians forever. He said, I'm going to dwell in the midst of the children of Israel forever. Because Israel is circumcised. How you going to get into that if you ain't circumcised? We're going to read the Lord in that you ain't getting in. You're going to stay in the dirt. Till that gets resurrection. That's why that circumcision thing, you want to get that. You do not want to go in the dirt having broken the everlasting covenant. Hence he said, here will I dwell in the midst of the children of Israel forever. Go ahead.
In my holy name shall the house of Israel no more defile.
That's what they're doing now. Acting uncircumcised. That's how we had to put up on the doggone board. We, the Bible Christians type of Israel. Okay? Or like I know another brother said, we are Christian Israel. We ain't just Christians, y'all. So when you say that, whoa! So that's how we got to throw up on out there. We the Bible Christians, the God type of Israel. Because he said, neither shall they defile, no one said, no form defile, neither shall they what?
Neither they nor their kings, by their whoredom, nor by their carcasses of their kings and their high places.
And notice he said, in their high places. In the places of worship, y'all. They in there defiling the Lord. They in there with their whoredoms. They in there all manner of foolishness, y'all. That's why we got to drop book up in here, y'all. Okay? Go ahead. Verse 8.
And they setting on their threshold by my thresholds, and their posts by my posts, and the wall between me and them. They have even defiled my holy name.
Yes, they have.
By their abominations that they have committed. Therefore I have consumed them in my anger. Now let them put away their whoredom and the carcasses of their kings far from me, and I will dwell in the midst of them forever.
Notice he coming to dwell here in the midst of the children of Israel forever. And let's go, and that's what these chapters are running in. Ezekiel 43, we're going to Ezekiel 44. Now let's go Ezekiel 44 and verse 4, y'all. The Lord is on this earth at this point. Let's see what he did. Verse 4. Ezekiel 44 and verse 4. Read.
Then brought he me the way of the north gate before the house. And I looked, and behold, the glory of the Lord filled the house of the Lord. And I fell upon my face.
Yes, sir.
And the Lord said unto me, Son of man, mark well, and behold with thine eyes, and hear with thine ears all that I say unto thee concerning all the ordinances of the house of the Lord, and all the laws thereof. And mark well the entering in of the house, with every going forth of the sanctuary.
Oh, so in the Lord's house there are laws. In his house, you don't go into the God of the Lord in a lawless house, y'all. So you step into a place of worship and they talking about no law? They start holding and serving God. Look what he said. Look, mark ye well, what's it? Mark ye well, concerning all the ordinance of the house of the Lord and all the laws thereof, and mark well the entry in of the house and every going forth of the sanctuary. Because in God's house there is law. Just like you live by law to keep your house and your rent or own your property or go to your job, you abide by laws. You drive on the street by law. You stop at the stop sign because the law said stop when you see a stop sign. And when you see a green light, it means go. Everybody live by laws in God's house right now. That's why we keeping the peace among them. That's the law. So when God come back, he gonna have laws in his house. How you gonna get in and you talking about, hey, brother, he done abolished all the law? You ain't getting in. You done. You just waiting to get thrown in the lake. Being lawless and disobedient and abominable and a reprobate to every good work. But they're going to profess that they know God. That's what they're doing all day tomorrow. Profess, I know God. They're giving the kids rabbits and eggs. Which you know is a lie. And that's thou shalt not bear false witness. That shall have no other guys before me. But watch this, y'all. Go ahead.
And thou shalt say to the rebellious, even to the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord God, O ye house of Israel, let it suffice you all. Suffice you all your abominations. And that ye have brought into my sanctuary strangers, uncircumcised in heart, and uncircumcised in flesh.
So the Lord looking at the heart, and he looking at the what? The flesh. He said that you have brought into my sanctuary strangers, uncircumcised in the heart, y'all. That's the other aspect. The women got to have that. Everybody got to have a circumcised heart. So if you got people walking in there with uncircumcised heart, you got to get them out of that state of mind. And he said uncircumcised in what? The flesh. That's how I know that Acts 15 chapter was a temporary pass on the babes at that time to the Gentiles. Because they had never known anything about snipping on their genitals. I mean, you just imagine somebody, you go up to my church and say, hey, my brother, before you continue, go ahead. You got to snip on your genitals. You're going to be like, what? Dude, what that got to do with what I believe? And they had no idea that you have the God and the Creator as your master. So you got to use what the Lord calls allow the babes to grow. Grow, and that's what they did in Acts 15 chapter. Because the Lord said here, the abomination you have brought into my sanctuary, strangers uncircumcised in heart, and those Gentiles that did receive it, they were being circumcised in the heart, y'all. That's why they believed, but they got to go on the physical side, y'all. That's why the book said, receive you by the works of the law or by the hearing of faith. So they got a circumcised heart, but they know they got to fulfill that everlasting covenant in their flesh part. That's called growing in the word of God. Okay? Nevertheless, go ahead. Even in my house, go ahead.
To be in my sanctuary, to pollute, even my house, when ye offer my bread, the fat and the blood, and they have broken my covenant because of all your abominations.
Wow. So the Lord called it an abomination. That's why a stranger come around and say, hey, my brother, you're going to have to figure out that circumcision thing. You got to have to deal with that. You believe you got a circumcised heart, but as you grow in this, you're going to deal with that uncircumcision in your flesh. Nevertheless, go ahead.
And ye have not kept the charge of my holy things, but ye have set keepers of my charge in my sanctuary for yourselves.
Now this way you don't want the stranger to die. You do not want to die in uncircumcision because of what we're finna read right now. Read.
That said the Lord God, no stranger uncircumcised in heart, no uncircumcised in flesh, shall enter into my sanctuary, of any stranger that is among the children of Israel.
Wait a minute, you ain't getting in. You get some. He said, no stranger uncircumcised in heart nor in flesh shall enter into my sanctuary of any stranger that is among the children of Israel. Okay? So you take that the way you want. You can go run off and Paul right if you want. But this is waiting when God come back. And who want to miss the first resurrection cause of that? So now, but like I said, I got a lesson. I'll go a little further and deal with other aspects to show you how it all clicks together. And if you have truly received a circumcised heart, you will get that physical circumcision. Because you do not want to be kept out. Okay, even physical Israel got to be circumcised in the mind. That's why Jesus told them, you speak that what you see of your father, and I speak that what I see of my father. They were standing there with an uncircumcised heart. So we got to have both, y'all. Got to have both. So now let's move on to the next law, the feast law. The feast law goes beyond the cross by going to Leviticus 23rd chapter. Leviticus 23 and 1. The feast law. We're going to touch on that a little bit and move on to the next one. So we had circumcision goes beyond the cross. The feast law goes beyond the cross. And I think I'm able to get in the tithes. That goes beyond the cross. You know, man, look. Everybody know that. They were going to pick, that's why I call it, you got that salad bar Christianity that day. They want to pick and choose. See, I like, we like the one that gets you the money. Dude, that's tied to the feast. So you going to snatch that, you better take the feast, because one without the other ain't going to do you no good. So right here, Leviticus 23, let's look at the feast. This law goes beyond the cross. Leviticus 23 and verse 1.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my feasts.
See, these are the Lord's feasts, and we read this out of the law. Who? Moses. So he said to Moses, Speak to the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my feasts. And watch what the first one is to start out with. Go ahead.
6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest, and a holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. Because
we are getting fed the word of God. The book tells us, Jesus said, man shall not live by bread alone, which everybody know we eat, but by every word of God. So you shall be eating and getting fed on the Sabbath. That's why it's a feast. We are consuming the word of God now. Where? With our minds. Amen. Okay? Now he goes to his annual. Go ahead.
These are the feasts of the Lord, even the holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their season. On the 14th day, the first month at even, is the Lord's Passover.
Yes, sir. That's what we observed 2 days ago. I'm sorry, a night before. Go ahead.
And on the 15th day of the same month.
That's what started last night. When the sun went down yesterday, we on the 15th day. Go ahead.
Is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Lord. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread.
See, because that's what we got behind us. The Passover which is on the 14th day, and we're celebrating the Feast of Unleavened Bread right now. But why is this so? Let's go to 1 Corinthians 5 and 7. 1 Corinthians 5 and 7. No, this is beyond the cross, because this is Paul's writing. And let's see if he said, well, see, it was over, it got abolished at the cross. They let it quote everything that is the law, but the stuff that Paul clearly showed you go beyond the cross. Think about that. Think about that. So 1 Corinthians 5 and 7. Read.
Purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened. For even Christ our Passover is sacrificed for us.
Hold on. That's how we got that up there, y'all. Christ our Passover was sacrificed for us. And because he died for us, go ahead. Verse 8.
Therefore, let us keep the feast.
Whoa. Therefore, so we clearly went past the cross, y'all. Because Jesus' death and resurrection constitute the Passover, which is sacrifice for us. Therefore, let us keep the feast. Clearly puts you past the what? The cross. He did not abolish the feast, y'all. So that didn't stop at the cross. Therefore, let us keep the feast because Jesus died for us. Go ahead.
Not with the old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth.
But with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth, and Psalms 119 and 142 tell you the law is the what? The truth. So that's the truth, y'all, that the feast go beyond the cross. So anyone that's not telling you that, they are opposite of the what? The truth. So now let's go to Exodus 23 and 14. I'm sorry, Exodus 20, 31. I'm going to go Exodus 31. Exodus 31 and 20. Because we're going to see a key word here that's just like everlasting. Exodus 31, and we're going to start at verse 12. Read.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak thou also unto the children of Israel, saying, Verily my Sabbath ye shall keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that ye may know that I am the Lord.
Wait a minute. He said, Verily my what? My Sabbaths. Plural. Plural, y'all. Not just one Sabbath. How I know that? Hold the spot. Let's go to Leviticus 23rd chapter. And this time we just going to skip down. Why he said Sabbaths. Leviticus 23, back to Leviticus 23. And we just going to bounce down. So we read Leviticus 23 and verse 6. Then let's go to Leviticus, because the Feast of Unleavened Bread is 2 days. As a repeat. Let's skip down to verse, all the way down to verse 15. Read.
And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that ye brought the sheep of the wave offering, 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. And even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall ye number 50 days, and ye shall offer a new meat offering unto the Lord. So
now we have the Feast of Unleavened Bread, That's why we read in verse 6 a little bit earlier. Now we reading about the Pentecost. Let's skip down to verse 23. I just want to just run down this right quick. 23.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall ye have the Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, and a holy convocation.
See, that's another Sabbath. That's why he said, Verily my Sabbaths, plural. Not just the one that started at the top of this chapter, y'all. Okay? Now the Sabbath. So we got the trumpets, the Pentecost, the unleavened bread. Skip down to verse 26.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Also on the 10th day of this 7th month, there should be a day of an atonement. It should be a holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
Now skip down to verse 32.
It should be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month by even. from even unto even shall ye celebrate your Sabbath.
There we go, another Sabbath, y'all. So let's go right into verse 33.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, The 15th day of this 7th month shall be the feast of tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord. On the first day shall be in holy convocation, ye shall do no sort of all work therein.
Yes, sir.
7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. On the 8th day shall be in holy convocation unto you, and ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. It is a solemn assembly.
Yes, sir.
And ye shall do no sort of all work therein.
So we talk another Sabbath, y'all. Keep going.
These are the feasts of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord, a burnt offering and a meat offering, a sacrifice and drink offerings, everything upon his day.
And you ain't seen nothing in there about no sin offerings, did you? And nothing in there about no sin offerings. So that's why I didn't stop at the cross, y'all. Everything upon whose day? His day. This is the Lord's day which he had made. You people, this is the day that the Lord had made. Well, we're reading them, y'all. This is what he made. He didn't make Easter eggs and bunny rabbits day, y'all. He didn't make Santa Claus and reindeer day, y'all. He didn't make that, y'all. He didn't make sun worship day, y'all. He didn't make that day to be worshiping the sun like what they're going to be doing tomorrow, y'all. Okay? Now let's skip all the way down to verse 44. Let's see what what Moses declared. Go ahead.
And Moses declared unto the children of Israel the feast of the Lord.
Oh, the feast of the Lord, y'all. No wonder the Lord said, these are Sabbaths, are my, the Sabbaths that be Sabbath to me, you, throughout your generation, that you may know that I am the Lord that doth sanctify you. But let's go see if Paul kept this, y'all. Let's go to Acts, the 18th chapter. You already told us to keep the feast. We read that once. Can we read that again? Let's see if we can read it again. Acts 18 and verse 19. Being mindful of my time. Acts 18 chapter and verse 19. They said, verily my Sabbath shall you keep. Well, let's look at Acts 18 and verse 19. Then I want to go back into that Exodus and look for a specific word that he says about these Sabbaths. So we're going to Acts 18, and you know what? This is a nice little chapter, y'all. Let's read 18 and verse 4. Then we're going to skip down to verse 19. But look what Paul was doing. Go ahead.
And Paul, after this, tarried there yet a good while, and then took his leave of the brethren, and so thence into Syria, and with him.
You have verse 4, son?
Oh.
Yeah, read verse 4. But this talking about Paul.
And he reasoned in the synagogue every Sabbath.
Every Sabbath he was there. Go ahead.
And persuaded the Jews and the Greeks.
Oh, so the Jews and the Greeks kept the Sabbath day, huh? Interesting. So it ain't about whether you Israel or not. It's whether you believe in the Lord. So the Jews and the Greeks were there, y'all. Go ahead.
And when Silas and
Timothy, that's Timothy.
Were come from
Macedonia,
Paul was pressed in the spirit and testified to the Jews that Jesus was Christ.
So he testified, he preached Jesus was the Christ on the Sabbath day, y'all. What else did Paul do? Skip all the way down to verse 19 now.
And he
after 18, I'm sorry, 18.
And Paul, after this, tarried there yet a good while, and then took his leave of the brethren and sailed thence into Syria. And with him Priscilla and Aquila, having sworn his head and Centuria, for he had a vow. And he came to Ephesians and left them there. But he himself entered into the synagogue and reasoned with the Jews. When they desired him to tarry longer time with them, he consented not, but bade them farewell, saying, I must by all means keep this feast.
Oh, I thought the feast was abolished at the cross, huh? Another witness. Because the feast was not about sin offerings, y'all. It was a feast unto the Lord. It was the Lord's feast. And Paul clearly states, bid them farewell, saying, I must by all means keep this feast. How many Christians talking like that, y'all? Can I get a child and a please? Child, please. Okay? Man, I didn't know nothing about no feast till I got hit with a book. Whoa, wait a minute. That's why he said, by all means, I must keep the feast that cometh in Jerusalem. Go ahead and finish that out.
But he himself entered into the synagogue and reasoned with the Jews. When they desired him to tarry longer time with them, he consented not, but bade them farewell, saying, I must by all means keep this feast that cometh in Jerusalem, that I will return again unto you, if God will. And he sailed from Ephesus. See. So now let's go back to the Exodus 31, and we're going to look at how long these are around, y'all. Paul kept them after the cross. 2 places. We could have written another place where he had the Pentecost. Let's see how long these feasts were to be in existence, y'all. Exodus 31, and this time, we're going to go down to verse 16. Read. 31 to 16. Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations, for a perpetual covenant.
Oh, for a what?
Perpetual.
Perpetual. Do you know what the word perpetual means? Without end. So that's beyond the what? Cross. No wonder the Jews and the Greeks were there. Because Jesus' cross did not stop the Sabbath days, nor did it stop the feast days, y'all. Because it was for a perpetual what? Covenant. So then let's go and look beyond us. Beyond this day. Let's go to Zechariah 14 chapter. When the Lord is back, what the people are going to be doing, y'all. Zechariah 14 and Zechariah 14 chapter, because Jesus is coming back to do this too. Zechariah 14, and we're going to start at verse 16. Because if God is coming back and we got to do it then, what you think we got to do now? The one that said perpetual covenant. The one that Paul said, by all means, I must keep this feast. The one that Paul said, I want to emphasize what Paul said, because you got these people that don't want to say these things that Paul said.
Right.
They want to say everything else but these things that I'm emphasizing in this lesson concerning the categories of the law. Verse 16, read.
And it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year.
Oh, from year to year to do what?
To worship the King.
Yes, sir.
The Lord of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
Oh, the Feast of Tabernacles is an annual thing. Just like the trumpets, just like the Pentecost, just like what we are observing today, the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread and the Passover. It is an annual event. The Sabbath day, however, is a weekly event. Nevertheless, that's why you get fed on the Sabbath day, so you can learn about these things, because he said it shall come to pass that everyone that's left of all the nations that came against you, because when the Lord come back, it's going to be fire. And he's going to consume them with fire, and the ones that remain after the great destruction that is coming, he said they're going to even go from what? Year to year to worship the Lord, worship the King, the Lord of hosts, to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. Go ahead.
And it should be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem.
Oh, because the Lord is where? In Jerusalem, dwelling in the midst of the children of Israel, with the circumcised. He's going to be dwelling in Jerusalem on this earth. Remember, we read Ezekiel 43rd chapter, the earth will shine with his glory. Jesus has yet to fulfill this, y'all. Remember, he said, heaven and earth shall not pass to one jot and one tittle of the law shall be what? Fulfilled. This coming, y'all. Just like the abolishing of the law, animal sacrifice, and everybody talking about the law was done away with. Well, this got to get done away with too by him coming to what? Do this. So we know this is beyond the cross because he is yet to do this. And when he's in Jerusalem, they're coming to worship the King. Go ahead.
Unto the earth Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord of hosts. Even upon them shall be no rain. Because
this feast is for all people, y'all. Not just the Jews. Remember, we read these are the feasts of who? The Lord's. Go ahead. What the Lord called them? Go ahead, verse 18.
And if the family of Israel go not up and come not, that have no rain, This should be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the feast of tabernacles.
Also, that's heathen talk that's generating or dominating the land now. Oh, brother, we ain't got to keep no feast. We're not under no ceremonial laws, brother. You got it quite right. They in bondage. They in Egypt. They in heathenism. It's flat out. Go ahead, read verse 19.
This shall be the punishment of Egypt, and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the feast of tabernacles.
Because this is the Lord's feast, and this is for everybody that loves the Lord. Straight up. Go ahead.
In that day shall there be upon the bells of the horses holiness unto the Lord, and the pots in the Lord's house shall be like the bowls before the altar.
So that's why we're doing this now, so we will be there when the Lord come back and keep his feast. That's why Paul said, by all means, I must keep this feast. Who don't want to be with the Lord when he's back in Jerusalem, y'all? And what if you ain't practicing keeping the feast now, how you going to get it then? You ain't got a clue, because you just sitting up under the law is abolished, all the ceremonial laws, the Mosaic law, that's all done away. That's why we got the Wednesday night thing answering all those anti-law doctrines. They're trying to keep you out of this. Think about it. So now let's move on to our next law, which they love to pick to get this one. The tithing, y'all. Oh, you got the tithe. Where your tithe? Oh, they own that like Johnny going north. Man, it's so bad, man. They got automatic withdrawals. Some of these churches got free ATM machines sitting straight up in there. You better bring your tithe. They be on it like Jonah. And that's in the law, y'all. So let's go read what they love to read, y'all. Here we go. Malachi 3 and 8. Oh, boy. Oh, they hit you flat out. They made sure they got this on lock. Right. But I thought this is all done away with. We the New Testament Christians. And we're going to show you, if you're doing the tithes, you're supposed to be doing a feast. They are locked. Click, they go together. If you tithe and you're keeping the Lord's feast. Click, they go together. We're going to show you that. I'm going to show you that. Let's go to Malachi 3. Let's see what they favorite. They were smoky with this. Honey going up. Malachi 3 and 8. Read.
Will a man rob God?
Brother, you robbing God. You ain't giving me that time. Dude, but the law's done away with. I thought all that was abolished. Well, we got to have. Dude, come on, man. And when you show them they got to keep the feast too, and that's, brother, we don't have to do. All of the law don't apply. That's that foolishness. That's that leavening. They hit you with a man robbed God. Go ahead.
Yeah, ye have robbed me. But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee? And tithes and offerings.
Go ahead.
Ye are cursed with a curse. For ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. Bring ye all the tithe into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it.
See, they would go here and say, see, you get blessed for giving me the tithes. That's really what they're saying, y'all. It's thinking a little, but they riding around with Mercedes-Benz. Man, they got a lock stock, women dressed up in furs. They got, look at my bling bling. Look at my pastor got me, my husband. They're blinging. Because they own this part of the law. This will stop at the cross too, man. But guess what? We're going to show you this tithe thing. This is in Abraham, y'all, before Moses. Let's go to Hebrews 7 and 5. Hebrews 7 chapter and verse 5. Y'all know that tithe thing done went past the cross. You got people that are devout tithe payers. Yeah. Sending their tithe in, whatever they do, because they know the Lord said, give me the first off the top, so they quick to get that in there. Devout about that. Well, why you in church on Sunday, man? Well, that's what we told you. Who told you that? The one that told you to tithe. Is that the same one? Did the Lord say, go to church on Sunday? Let's get it all now. Let's align the jazz right. Who said that? Go to church on Sunday. Is it the same one that said tithe? Uh-oh. But look at when this tithe thing got instituted. Hebrews 7 and verse 5. to start at verse 4. Because it talks about when the tithe got paid. This is under Melchizedek. Let me state that too, so we get a good background, good context. Okay? So now we're going to start at Hebrews 7 and verse 4. Read.
Now consider how great this man was, unto whom even the patriarch Abraham gave the tenth of the spoil.
Now he paid this tenth of the spoil unto Melchizedek. We are now under the priesthood of Melchizedek. As a matter of fact, start at verse 1. So that means we good and solid. Go ahead.
For this Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of the Most High God, who met Abraham returning from the slaughter of the kings and blessed him. To also Abraham gave a tenth part of all. First being by interpretation, king of righteousness, and after that also king of Salem, which is king of peace.
So now he gave a tenth part of all. That's where the tithe word comes from. A tenth. So he paid this to Melchizedek. We are now under Melchizedek. So you telling me, no wonder they know that the tithe goes beyond the cross. The one they still saying, dollar, 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 dollar. Where your tithes at? And you know they hit you with that offering plate. So when you eat them church money, here it comes. Okay, it's woo woo. They're gonna make sure that get done. Why? Because Abraham paid the tithe. This is the works of Abraham. He paid tithes of all, first being interpreted to Melchizedek, which is interpreted king of righteousness, and after that also king of Salem, which is king of peace. Go ahead.
Without father, without mother, without descent, having neither beginning of days nor end of life, but made like unto the Son of God, abideth a priest continually.
And we can go deeper in that and show you that's straight up Jesus. Nevertheless, we're dealing with tithe, the tithe law. Go ahead.
And I consider how great this man was, unto whom even the patriarch Abraham gave the tenth of the spoil. And verily they that are of the son of Levi, who received the office of the priesthood, have a commandment to take tithes of the people according to the law, that is, of their brethren, though they come out of the loins of Abraham.
See, the tithe Levites were commanded to take a tithe of the people. That's why I said of the office of the priesthood. That's why under Melchizedek, on the wave offering, he set up the office of the bishop and the deacons. He made us priests and kings, and we reign on the earth. So we are commanded to take tithes as ministers of Melchizedek in these under the new covenant. So keep going.
But he whose descent is not counted from them received tithes of Abraham, and blessed him that had the promises. Without all contradiction, the less is blessed of the better. And here men that die receive tithes, but there he receiveth them, of whom it is witness that he liveth. And as I may say so, Levi also, who received the tithes, paid tithes in Abraham.
So the Abraham is the root of this, y'all. Because you got brothers saying, well, see, ain't no Levitical priesthood, so why are we taking tithes? No, because we are the children of who? Abraham, and if we are a seed of Abraham, we have to do the what? The works of Abraham. That's why he said Levi also received tithes. They paid tithes in who? Abraham. Are you of Abraham? Then you got to do what? Pay tithes. This ain't based on Mosaic law, y'all. It's just that Moses was in the church, the birth of the church, to let the people know where it originated from Abraham. Go ahead, verse 10.
For he was yet in the loins of his father when Melchizedek met him.
Yes, sir. So now, let's go to Nehemiah 13 chapter. Let's go to 1 Corinthians. I'm going to go to 1 Corinthians 1 and 9. Now, let me go to Nehemiah 13, then we come back. 1 Corinthians 1 and 9. We will come after Nehemiah. Nehemiah 13 chapter, verse 10. Look at that one time. Nehemiah 13 chapter and verse 10. And he said, bring all the tithes in the storehouse that there may be meat in my storehouse. You're supposed to be taking care of the ministry. We can show you where it said, buy the truth, sell it not. Why spend your money for that which is not bread? So if this ministry is bread to you, you should be tithing. It is simple as that. That's the commandment. that goes beyond the cross, y'all. Right here, Nehemiah 13 and verse 10. Watch this, y'all. Nehemiah 13 and 10. Read.
And I perceived that the portion of the Levites had not been given them. For the Levites and the singers that did the work were fled everyone to his field.
See, they have been neglected. And we're going to see what causes neglection. Go ahead.
Then contended I with the rulers and said, why is the house of God forsaken? And I gathered them together and set them in their place. Then brought all Judah the tithe of the corn.
Oh, wait a minute. So they brought tithes. So that's what was causing them to what? Forsake. Singers did not work. Said did the work. And they fled everyone to his field. Why did they flee? Because there wasn't nothing there for them. That's why the Lord said, bring all the tithes to the storehouse that there may be meat in my house. And we're going to show you how Paul said, thou shalt not muzzle the ox that treadeth the corn. That's why this thing, see, Israel went from an agricultural time or dispensation. Now I'm looking at dispensation now. Well, who's our cash cow now? Our jobs. And we're going to read that. We're going to see how it transitioned. The Lord covered all the tithes. So when they looked at the neglected of the priests, he then brought all Judah the tithes. At that time was the corn, y'all. And of the new wine and the oil unto the what? Treasures. Go ahead.
And I made treasures over the treasures, Shelemiah the priest and Zadok the scribe, and of the Levites, Pedadiah, and next to them was Hanan the son of Zachar, the son of Mattaniah, for they were counted faithful, and their office was to distribute unto them to their brethren.
See, he put faithful men over the treasure, y'all, because they knew to keep tabs on who's bringing their tithes. That's why he said they were counted what? Faithful, and their office was to distribute unto their brethren. Go ahead.
Remember me, O my God, concerning this, and what not all my good deeds.
Whoa, he said, remember me, oh my God, concerning this, that the priest, the tithes is taken care of for the priest. He said, remember me, oh my God, concerning this, and what not out my what good deeds. Go ahead.
That I have done for the house of my God, and for the offices thereof.
And for the offices thereof. That's why Paul said this. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 9 and 9. Your tithing goes beyond the cross, y'all. You got brothers in the, oh, brother, you ain't supposed to be tithing. This whatever you supposed to give. Oh, no, the law said it. The law said it, and that is it. Anybody trying to get more than 10%, they're some greedy dogs. You okay? We do the works of Abraham. Even Paul said, if you be the seed of Abraham, then you are heirs according to the what? The promise. And if you are the seed of Abraham, you will do the works of Abraham. 1 Corinthians 9 and verse 9. Read.
For it is written in the law of Moses, thou shalt not murder.
Actually, I want to start at verse 7. My bad. Start at verse 7.
Who goeth a warfare any time at his own charges, who planteth a vineyard and eateth not of the fruit thereof.
No, wait a minute. So he's sitting there letting them, who go to warfare at his own charges, and who planted a vineyard and eateth not the fruit thereof. My labor in this word, I should be able to eat the fruit thereof. So the fruit thereof is everyone is getting bread of their God, and they get knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Go ahead.
Or who feedeth a flock, and eateth not of the milk of the flock.
Look, see y'all, trust me, I have studied on this book. Look, child, please. Everybody know me, I'm on book. And if it ain't book, check me. But I stay on book for y'all's sake and mine. So he said, what? Who feedeth the flock and eateth not of the milk of the flock? Go ahead. So I'm supposed to be seeing milk, right? Anyway, go ahead.
Say I these things as a man, or saith not the law the same also?
No, she said, said I these things as a what? A man? Or said not the law the same also? Go ahead.
For it is written in the law of Moses, thou shalt not muzzle the mouth of the ox that treadeth out the corn. Do God take care for oxen?
No, she said, for it is written in the law of Moses, here go that law, y'all, thou shalt not muzzle the mouth of the ox that treadeth out the corn. No wonder the Levites were under the old covenant was being neglected, and the Israel, the Judah came and brought what? The tithes of, at that time, corn. Because they knew that's what the Levites needed. They provided what they needed. Because the Levites was taking care of the business for what? The Lord. So he said, for it is written, thou shalt not muzzle the ox that treadeth the corn. Does God take care for oxen? Go ahead.
Or said he it altogether for our sakes. For our sakes, no doubt, this is written.
No, she said, for our sakes, no doubt, this is written. Go ahead.
This is written, that he that ploweth should plow and hope.
Yes, sir.
That he that thresh and hope should be partaker of his hope.
Yes, sir.
If we have sown unto you spiritual things, is it a great thing if we shall reap your carnal things? If others be partakers of this power over you, are not we rather?
No, she said, if we have sown unto you spiritual things, is it a great thing if we shall reap of your carnal things? That's why the Levites were neglected, because they needed that carnal side to stay afloat. Just like ministry, it ain't just, you know, this thing fall out the sky. And let me go here, then we finish that. Go ahead. Verse 3.
If others be partakers of power over you, are not we rather? Nevertheless, we have not used this power, but suffer all things, lest we shall hinder the gospel of Christ. But do ye not know that they which minister about holy things live of the things of the temple?
Oh, live of the things of the temple. That's why he said bring up the tithes to the storehouse. Because we live of the temple. Go ahead. And they
which wait at the altar are partakers with the altar. Even so have the Lord ordained that they which preach the gospel should live of the gospel. Look,
even so the Lord had ordained that they which preach the what gospel should do what? Live of the gospel. That's why I'll be on it. I was like, if you drop it down this way, hey brother, it's well worth, because I'm going to give you a book. I'm going to make sure you well armed, suited, and booted against all manner of foolishness. That's my job. That's why he say the gospel, he that preaches the gospel should be able to live of the gospel, y'all. This is a duty that's required. This goes across the cross. That's what Paul's preaching this. So now let's go to Numbers 18 chapter. All right, I'm going to go to Proverbs. My bad. Proverbs 23 and 23. There should be enough milk in the kitty for the ministers that's giving you straight. We on book. We definitely on book, y'all. Watch what it said, 23 and verse 23. Read.
By the truth.
Hey, it said by the truth. That's why you check, mention. If Jacob, if me and brother, if we giving you book, say, go buy live. We're not going to give you on live. You think you check. Look, we got question and answer following immediately thereafter. So you can make sure you get your tithes and your offerings. Look, you getting the truth. It said, buy the truth. Go ahead.
And sell it not.
Hey, I ain't doing this to be selling it, y'all. I'm not doing it according to your whims. I'm going to preach this book. We on book. That's why we call the what? Bible Christians of God. I will make sure, because I'm in the hot seat too. Matter of fact, I am the pinpoint man for this ministry. So I got to make sure we on book. I got to check, make sure we straight on book. Therefore, he said, buy the truth, sell it not. Go ahead.
Also wisdom and instruction and understanding.
That's why we say, if you tired, you like what you get. If you getting wisdom, if you getting instruction, and you getting understanding from this, then you need to be tied to this. It is flat out. And if they ain't giving you wisdom or instruction or understanding, don't. Flat out. Flat out. So let's go to, I'm going to go to Numbers 18 chapter, where it's flat out in the law. Numbers 18 and 26. That's why we're trying to improve. We need more milk. Okay? It's just a little milk now. There's very, very little milk. But the Lord will increase. Numbers 18 and 26. That's why I keep preaching books. So 18 and 26, read.
Thus speak unto the Levites, and say unto them, when ye take of the children of Israel the tithes which I have given you from them from your inheritance, then ye shall offer up an heave offering of it for the Lord, even a tenth part of the tithe.
See, and this is why it's a tenth, y'all. 10th part of the tithe. That's what we're supposed to get. So look, let's go to the first Revelation 5th chapter. Looking at my time. Revelation 5 and verse 9. We on the Melchizedek, and we've been brought in on his priesthood, and we've been made kings and what? Priests. Let's go and read that. Revelation 5 and 9. I'm just going to wave off in peace, but this one's fast. Because under the old covenant, it was to the Levites. Under the new covenant, is everyone that's been partaking of the ministry. We the ones that's treading the corn, y'all. We getting in this book, making sure, oh man, I gotta make sure this verse match up. I gotta make sure that understanding. Oh man, that's a little confused. My wife even checking on stuff. I'm like, whoa, okay, I'm gonna make sure she good. All right, wait a minute now. I'm gonna go. That's treading the corn. We line in line, precept upon precept, searching these scriptures out. When you call in and ask for a question, I should be able to go and give you the answer. I'm providing a service to you.
Yes.
That's why he said, by the truth. Also, wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. That's my job. I'm on that. That's why we had a Q&A, an assessment. Let's get in. You didn't quite understand it. It is my job to make sure I impart to you wisdom, knowledge, and instruction and understanding. That's why he said, by the truth. Go ahead.
And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof. For thou wast slain and have redeemed us to God by the blood out of every kindred and tongue.
See, by his blood we are redeemed out of every nation, kindred, and tongue. That's fulfilling the promise of Abraham. That all nations going to be what? Blessed. Okay, that's why we're going to get to that into the wave robber tomorrow. That's up. There's a little tidbit, a little preview, y'all. Anyway, nonetheless, for thou wast slain and redeemed us to God by thy blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation. Verse 10.
And has made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth.
So now you under this priesthood. And just like with Abraham, Levi paid tithes, the tithes are still in effect now, beyond the cross, y'all. Beyond the cross. So let's go to Isaiah 55, verse 1 to 3. I'm going to say this law of faith to our next portion. We're going to Isaiah 55, verse 1. Isaiah 55, verse 1. Read.
Ho, everyone that thirsteth, come ye to the waters. And he that hath no money, come ye, buy and eat. Yea, come buy wine and milk without money and without price. Wherefore do ye spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which satisfieth not? Hearken diligently unto me, and eat ye that which is good, and let your soul delight itself in fatness.
Now notice, he says, lo, do what? Come ye buy and eat. You say, yeah, come. In other words, you value what you hear from this ministry, or from the ministry that is feeding you. That's why I say, everyone that thirsts to come ye to the waters, and he that had no money, because he said, don't come acting like you got to pay yourself to get in. No, it ain't going to do. But it's that you are keeping the commandments of God. You are doing the works of Abraham and paying your tithes. Wherefore do you spend money for that which is not bread? That's why I said, don't be, you go spend your money for that which is not bread. But you're supposed to be taking care of the house of God and giving you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You're supposed to do that. He said, and your labor is that which satisfies not. Hearken diligently unto me. How do you hear what the Lord said? Through his ministers treading that corn and that ox work in his book. Okay? Then he said, hearken diligently unto me and eat that which is good, and let your soul delight itself with fatness. Go ahead. In fatness, go ahead.
Incline your ear and come unto me. Hear, and your soul shall live. And I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David.
See, that's why we got to deal with the everlasting what? Covenant. He said even the everlasting covenant with David, y'all. So this concludes this part about the tithes and the law. So I want to leave it right here because I want to set up our next part. Just when I start to go to the law of faith, that's the next thing we're going to get into next Sabbath, along with the sanitary laws, along with the civil laws, along with the inheritance laws, along with the marriage laws. Hey, there's a whole nother, I'm going to have to leave a couple of them out, but in this next set, we're going to deal with property laws, okay? So all those things are to come. So I hope you got some understanding on this part 2 of Beyond the Cross, under the segment 3 of the categories of the law.